Good morning, kindergarten. For science, we're still working with the life cycle of a plant or a flower. Okay, this happens to be a flowering plant. So these two pieces are coming home for you to work with. If you are not able to print them or something's wrong with your printer, I'm going to show you another alternative. But first, we're going to do the printed part. So again, if you don't have a printer, just follow along because you'll need to know these steps anyway. So the first thing I did after I printed them is I colored them. But I want to go over some key vocabulary first, okay? I want you to know what you're coloring and what the diagrams mean, okay? So let's start with the seed. So this is a seed. Remember, you plant the seed, okay? So after you plant the seed, roots kind of start there. So those would be the roots coming out. More roots. Remember, the sprout is the little plant that starts to come up, the sprout. It has a stem and leaves. Okay, those start to come out too. After the stem and leaf come out from the sprout, it gets a tiny flower bud. You see that top is called a bud. And then lastly, after the bud, the flower starts to grow. So again, some key words: seed, roots, sprout starts to come up. Remember that green, almost stick-looking thing, which is called eventually the stem, and then leaves, the bud, and then the flower. So what I want you to do now is start to color. So you don't have to worry about coloring your flower petals, okay? Usually the roots of plants are white, but I use kind of a peach so you could see. So I'll give you a moment to color. And then after you color, I will show you how to cut. Okay, I have my scissors here. I'm not cutting this. I'm cutting the outside of the petals, okay? The outside of the petals. So you're going to follow the black line on the outside. Black line all the way around the outside. So I'm going to start to cut mine and then I will show you what they look like. Okay, K04, we're back. So I have my pieces of my flower. And in the middle it says life cycle of a flowering plant. So these are actually the directions or the order, the sequence as we know of the growth or of the life cycle, okay? So we need to find out where these pictures go on our flower. So this is where you might need some help with reading, but I'm going to try my best to kind of walk you through it as we go, okay? So if you have yours cut out and ready, you can follow along, or if you're going to make it later, you can come back, okay? So the first one says seed is planted. So we're going to look at our pieces and we know that this is our seed. So you can put just a dot of glue, not a lot, and glue it there. Okay. The next one says roots grow down. So where is the picture where the roots start to grow down? Right here. So see the roots? I colored them green on this one, okay? The next step says sprouts form or sprout forms. We'll come back over to our pictures. And this is where the sprout starts to form. See that? The stem or the sprout starts to come out. Okay, our next one. Gotta turn it around so you can see it. It says stem and leaves grow. So let's come over to our pictures. There's the stem and those are the leaves. They're starting to grow. Got it on there. A bud forms. A bud forms. Remember, that part is a bud. Hasn't quite flowered, so that's the bud. And again, you're just going to put a dot of glue, not a lot, or if you can tape it if you don't have glue. And then the last one, let me turn it all the way around. A flower grows. Well, that's our last one. So that is your life cycle of a flowering plant. Now again, I'm going to show you a printer-friendly alternative if your printer is not working or if you're not able to print today. You just kind of need a piece of paper, or you could actually do this in your journal. And what you would do is draw a flower. So you can have a circle in the middle. And you need petals. So let's go back to this piece and count how many petals we had in the cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you need to make sure that you have 6 petals coming from your flower, okay? So 1, and you might need an adult to help you, or an older brother or sister. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, you have your 6, and then I'm also going to do the leaves like we had. Sorry, this is hard one-handed. And the stem. Okay? Now, you're going to do the exact same thing that we did together over here, but you're just going to draw instead. So you could actually draw and write. So the first one, remember, was the seed. So you can just kind of draw a seed and try to write seed, S-E-E-D. Okay, that's better. I have the ground seed. Next, we had the roots grow down. I'll just show you a couple more and then I'll let you get started. Okay, so you're just doing the same thing that we did earlier in the video, but you're doing it in your journal if you can. Okay, and then again, if you want to write keywords, roots, you can too. All right, so that is the life cycle of a flowering plant.